Throwback Thursday, March the 25th, 2021. Y'all. This fire here is for a reason. It's to show if anybody did wrong to my son, Bryan, in Carbondale, Illinois, or anywhere else. This fire is something that two of my grandmothers showed me how to burn. You see how the wind is blowing and it won't blow it out? It's something that you do to this fire to make it, no matter how hard the wind blow. And no papers in there. It's just wood from the trees. This fire, to me, it signifies letting those, that I know people all around the globe watches my YouTube, is letting you know that I would seek justice for my son, Bryan, until my fire go out. And the only time my fire gonna go out is when I get justice or God call me home. If he call me home, I know God is still gonna get justice for my son. You see, ain't nobody perfect on this earth. I'm not even perfect. God brought me a mighty long ways, and I know my son was struggling, and family members was trying to help him. But it was other wicked people out there that fed his weakness. Something happened to my son that I don't believe. His daughter don't believe. His daughter mother don't believe. My 3 daughters don't believe. My other grandchildren don't believe. My families don't believe, and there's other law enforcement officials don't believe he hung himself. You see, I done seen many type of deaths. I done seen faces when they was dying, working on the ambulance. I done even brought some back that had heart attacks. You can see something on a person's face. I seen something on my son's face that told me it wasn't depression that would make him commit suicide. I believe he was struggling for his life. You see, there's so many details that's been hidden. I'm going to be honest with you. The coroner in Carbondale, Illinois, Murphyboro, wherever he worked out of, the one that's handling my son's case, and the lieutenant, call himself the commander or the head lead investigator of my son's, what they call suicide, I call murder. You see, they showed me something. I could see it in their face and their eyes. God give me a spirit of discernment. I seen something in their eyes. It showed me something that they wasn't really concerned about my son's death, because, you know, they said nothing. Everything that they said is something negative. You see, the sergeant that took me on the scene, he knew the things that my son was doing wrong, but he didn't have negative things to say about my son. You can tell he was a God-fearing man. He was a people's person. That lieutenant of the Charles, Missouri, not the Charles, Missouri, if I said Charles, Missouri earlier, but the Carbondale, Illinois police department in that corner, I could tell they wasn't concerned about my son. I asked them, did they know my son got shot down there last year? And the lieutenant was proudly to tell me, yeah, I was investigating that. That's last year, y'all. He was investigating it. I said, my son showed me who shot him. Tied with the white female that he was married to. He didn't write a note down on that. You know why? Because he didn't care. Because my son had been to prison before. They showed me all they said was negative things. They was talking about the negative things. But no matter how many negative things or good things you do, if a person hang theyself, I can't see no corner, legitimate corner, that know his job, that gonna just determine suicide without waiting on their toxicology tests to come back, and without even taking an autopsy. They wasn't gonna take an autopsy. He suggested to my son's mother that we cremate him down there in Carbondale. He knew a funeral home would do it for cheap. That ain't what we wanted. She told him to talk to me. He didn't want to talk to me. Most prejudiced and corrupted law enforcement officials or white supremacists or sellout blacks, they don't want to talk to me. And every I don't look at all police as corrupted, but these police, they showed me something. That the coroner in the lieutenant, they showed me something that they wasn't concerned about nothing but closing that case. You see, if my son got shot, I guess since they say he hung himself, y'all see how that fire just coming on back out? That's the fire I got in me. But see, the fire I have in me is no negativity about it. It's doing everything by the law. You see, it was something else. Now, my son hand balled up and money in it, but they said he jumped down and he killed himself with this belt. To the best of my recollection, I believe he had on sweatpants, and anybody know, sweatpants, I don't believe, have loops to put a belt in, so you wouldn't have no purpose for it. Where y'all seen my son's body supposed to be in where he hung himself? Right around the corner in another little apartment like that, they found 2 of his shirts. Now, I guess he left his shirts right there in that place. Y'all see, we couldn't even get in. We had to beat in. But I guess my son probably was the maintenance man so he can get in. Y'all don't believe that just like I don't. But he leave his shirts around there. He steals a fire extinguisher. Take the fire extinguisher to the place where he allegedly hung himself, just sit it up there and hang himself. And did y'all notice all that stuff that was up there where he's supposed to hung himself? Did y'all hear when they said the bike was turned in reverse when my son was found hung? So after my son was taken down, somebody rearranged the bike back. Who live in them apartments up there? Who can be in an apartment and somebody out there hanging themselves? There's going to be some noise out there, y'all. But I'm letting y'all know, because see, the corner down there in Carbondale, Illinois, he asked me my YouTube channel, and I told him proudly, Raymond, Raymond, Ivy. And I know he watching it. You see, another thing they told me I couldn't come to the autopsy, but they told me after the autopsy was over with, which is supposed to have been today, they would contact me. Y'all can see the time now. And if they'd have contacted me, you know I'd have gave y'all an update. They didn't contact me. If they had it, it's disrespectful for not contacting me. And if they didn't have it, it's disrespectful for not even telling me that you canceled it. But that don't surprise me with them. Little do they know, whether they contact me or not, I'll be down there. I'm not going to call their number nan time. You see what I'm saying? Because it's their job to contact us. But I'm going to be all right, y'all. Me and the mother, we going to try to get these arrangements together so y'all will know where my son's body would be. It won't be like that coroner suggested to my son's mother. He know a funeral home. I'm sure he do. Most coroners make their money like that. See, if you don't die, he ain't got no job. If you stay alive, he don't have a job. But anyway, y'all, in the United States, you can get a DNA off anything. They can get a DNA out of this fire. You notice when a house be burned down, they can get stuff out of the fire and tell you what ignited the fire, but they can't get DNA off a rope or off of a belt that somebody allegedly hung themselves. Those of y'all that's watching this here in Carbondale, if you had something to do with it, let me tell you something about my son. He's just like me. If I'm in a jail and they say I hung myself, don't believe it. The only way you believe it if you see it on camera. You see what I'm saying? And see, I believe my son might have left some wounds on somebody, because I know I leave a lot of wounds on you if you get a chance to put something around my neck. But we ain't going to give up. My son had family in Japan. My son had family in Mexico. My son had a family in the Dominican Republic. My son had a family in Puerto Rico. And he got family in all 50 states. You hear me? Y'all hear me in Carbondale? See, what y'all undid, Carbondale, whoever did something to my son, y'all undid something to a family that have people that speak every language that you have on the face of this earth. People that have sources of all sources. We're God-fearing people. You see what I'm saying? We can get violent, but we try to stay peaceful. But we will defend ourselves by any means necessary if you try to attack us. But you see, I'm going to tell y'all something. That coroner and that lieutenant, they don't care. All they want is my son's case to be closed. But it ain't going to be closed until we find out who killed my son. It's too many loose ends, y'all. And remember, if anybody can find out for me to tell me whoever they ever seen committing suicide with money in they balled up in their hand. Let me try to work my way back, y'all, to the light out here. I ain't been able to sleep, y'all. I'm trying to hold back tears because I got to stay strong. My son got too many females that's in the family. His daughter, I want all of y'all that don't know his daughter love him. His daughter, her son, his daughter, which is my granddaughter, his son, which is my great-grandson, and his grandson, and his daughter's mother, they care about what happened to him. My son's mother care. My son's, all of his brothers and sisters care. On my side and on his mother's side. On my side of the family, all our family. And friends. And one thing about it, the detective in the corner, they don't have to do their job. We gonna do ours. You see, Bryan got a family that's very highly educated. Bryan got a family that's in just about every occupation that you name, even law enforcement. So y'all just be ready. You see, sometime when you think somebody alone, like they thought I was down here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, they thought Bryan was alone down there in Carbondale, but he wasn't. God allowed him to go there for a reason. Bryan had assignment there. You know, I don't question God, but I tell you one thing, God gonna let us find out. And if you don't know me, you will get to know me. I know some of y'all, I mean, the coroner and your lieutenant up there in Carbondale, I know y'all contact them down here. You can contact them in the White House if you want to. You see what I'm saying? But my son was loved. Whoever did it to him, they didn't love him. You see, that was a coward act. If he owed you some money, y'all could have just held them hostage and contact us. We'd have paid you your money. You see what I'm saying? I know something happened to my son. And believe it or not, just like that fire burning still back there, I'm going to find out. Family, those that's weak, those that's strong, y'all help keep those that's weak strong. We going to get Bryan body back up to Chicago. We ain't going to let that corner find a cheap funeral home down there in Carbondale and burn all the evidence and burn my son up. If anything, let me put him in a box while he's still alive. Since he want to burn my son's body up, let us put you in a box and burn you up. I know you're listening to it. Don't suggest nothing that to my son's mother. Suggest it to me. I'm a man. You come to me. How would you like me to go to your wife? You see what I'm saying? And tell your wife I think your husband is a racist, which I do think he is. I'm going to leave y'all because, I can't sleep. You see what I'm saying? I get a little rest. I'm just going to say this here, peace be still.